Frappe was like love at first sight. The framework itself, amazing stuff. The ERP Next product is open source, is free, and all we are providing is services. Just like any other initial partner would do, trying things out, but not working a few things, stumbling across, just be very open, very transparent. I think we are oversold to open source.
This is the first edition of the Partner Conversation series. And for me, who are seeing me for the first time, I am Anupama from Frappe. I work here as a product marketer. And recently, we have been having conversations in our team about how we could possibly help our partners or our existing certified partners to maximize on their growth journey with us and give them some directional enablement from our side. And while discussing this, this idea was born to get our top performing partners to talk about their experiences with us and strategies that they adopted that might have worked for them or might not have worked for them. Just an unfiltered conversation around what goes into the entire partnership journey with Frappe. So yeah, in the first edition, we have Mitesh with us here today, who's the founder of AquaTech. He's here to talk about his team's journey of becoming one of the best and top performing partners today. Aakvatech is our gold partner from Tanzania. They specialize in, making tech softwares and solving the interesting tech challenges that they have on their plate. So, yep, that's about it. And we also have Ankita with us here today, who is the dedicated partner manager for Aakvatech. To give you some context, Ankita joined Frappe as a legal advisor and along the way got interested in the business of Frappe, and now she is leading the partnership ecosystem in the MEA region. Ankita, would you like to chime in and quickly talk about your experience and your relation with Aakvatech?
Yeah, so they have been quite a promising partner, and it has helped Frappe also to build an ecosystem in the African market with the help of Aquatech. So they have really nurtured quite a few partners. They are still nurturing as well as building the ecosystem. So that I think that's what has worked out best with them. Yeah, it has been really a good journey with them so far.
I remember having this conversation with you earlier as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was really excited to, go through all the details with Mitesh live today. So now I just want to dig in with Mitesh and hear from him more about Aquatech, like what they do, what they love doing genuinely as a business. So Mitesh, you could just come in and talk about Aquatech.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure to be on the first on the series. uh, we will we have been with Prepare for about 4 years now, at least, as a partner, but more than that, as an implementer. And Prepare was like love at first sight. The framework itself, amazing stuff. So we never look back. We don't do anything else as well. We really like the even the philosophy behind the way it has been built and the way it is aligned towards the open source, the approach that is followed in the industry. Aquatech started by looking for a solution which is invoicing and then extending it into the accounts and the uh, inventory aspects, and then really figure out there's just so much in there in ERP Next. And so we went ahead and did our first implementations, just like any other initial partner would do, trying things out, but not working a few things, stumbling across some. But I recall a post from Janat a few days back who mentioned about the importance of reading code, and that has been one of the most important approach that has helped us to date. At that, in that, when you don't have a documentation in place, or if you don't have complete documentation in place, code will tell you what it's going to do, right? So reading code always helps. And that really helped us in the initial days when, while the documentation was existing, there were so many hidden treasures within the code that we could find out, understand, and let the customers also understand and make use of it. So yeah, we spent considerable time going through the code and assisting the customers. Then we had a partner who actually wanted Frappe support, Frappe backed support. Our region is, maybe it is usual in other parts of the world as well, but people don't trust IT companies so much because IT companies has been unduly taking advantage of their capabilities and either charging too much or not providing a lot of services. And every time you would see that a customer comes to you, they don't trust you initially. So the way to give trust was to just be very open, very transparent, mention about what the product is about. And I think since day one, since we have communicated this with our customers, we have never hidden the fact that the ERP Next product is open source, is free, and all we are providing is services. That kind of has broken ice for us, helped the customers gain the confidence, and you are left behind with customers who really want to be with you, right? Because customers who want to do it on their own, they have the liberty to go ahead and do it on their own. And I think we respect that freedom that is available and should be exercised by whoever is able to do that. So yeah, we went ahead and we realized that in the market there are so many challenges apart from the normal practices of accounting to be followed, apart from the normal practice of inventory management to be followed, whereby our environment has certain websites to be regularly checked, certain way of handling the taxation, certain way of handling the reconciliations of stock and things like that. And we always identify those small things added onto a custom app, which is also open source. We called it country-specific functionalities for Tanzania and kept on adding to it all the small bits and pieces that helped us to do the implementation in our region. And that's where we learned more about Frappe. We also built a property management application. We built applications which are for oil industry, for petrol stations as well. And look, one thing is clear. ERP Next is free and open source. We received it. We benefited in our business. And whatever we are doing, we also following the same philosophy of keeping it open source and making it available for others who want to do it and let them be free to do it without any restrictions. So yeah, that's kind of stuck to us for since the beginning. Yeah, so that's how we have been approaching the Frappe and ERP Next product.
Okay, so that's interesting. I mean, now when we know that how you came across Frappe and the framework and ERP Next in general, the flagship product, but what was the exact decision for you that you made that you wanted to stick around with us? And like while were you researching as well, was there like open source the specific element that was very essential for you guys to go about with something that is helpful in solving for your invoicing or accounting problems, or you were open to anything else other than open source when you came across it to us?
So I think we are oversold to open source. We just want to remain and work with open source as much as possible. There are times when you want to have a closed source for some specific customer for their particular IP that they are having, their reporting, their techniques of handling certain business processes, which remains closed source because it is the IP of the customer and that is what is the explanation item. But as far as generic functionality goes, everything goes into our open source product. And look, ERP Next is a product which is open source. People have put in time, energy to get it up and running, and we are benefiting it out of the same concept. What are we giving back? So as a partner, we realized that if this product is good, which we were 100% clear about, and it's a product on which the business was to be built, which was also feasible. So how do we make sure it continues? Because, sustenance is important, and there is no way a set of operations can be run without having the right funding available. So we said, what can we do to add to the funding of the product? And at that time, there was Frappe Foundation as well, and ERP Foundation as well. But we went ahead and tried to find ways to directly contribute into the product. Very little as code, but a lot of ways in terms of getting services from Frappe. That was our intention to continue the partnership. In fact, start the partnership. It was difficult. We were not big. We were very small. The partnership requirements were high at that time. Even though it was only a few hundreds of dollars, it was tough for us to think of giving it out. But we went ahead and said, let us take that first step. It was tough to take that first step, but we never regretted it. And we believe that having that first step taken has helped us move forward and continuously get services from Frappe, find ways to share whatever available part of the revenue we have with Frappe. And I think that was the only way we saw that we will be able to sustain this super product that we want to build our business on. So it was a selfish intent as well, but with a very clear indication that if we don't do that, then this good product will also not be able to get and the funding back that was there. Now, we have not done funding like Zerodha, but whatever we have done, I think we have put it in our own manner into the ecosystem back.
As I could understand, you really like the fact of open source being the philosophy, and more specifically Frappe framework being open source, and how you wanted to contribute towards the sustainability by making custom apps that could be possibly very specific for property management or for the petrol station management, the operations related to that. So yeah, since you have been in the market for some time and have been dealing with ERPs, you also know that apart from being open source, there are other products out there who have better market, who have captured the market better than us. So do you really think that ERP Next, as compared to them, ERP Next have that organic traffic in general? Because the other players in the market, they invest heavily into marketing as compared to us. So in your experience, what have you seen? Do ERP Next attract organic traffic, or is it like some marketing that works around for it?
So ERP Next does a brilliant job in making sure there is a community, making sure that there is support within that community. The forum was an amazing place to start off. And we also realized that putting our contributions within the community and the Telegram groups as well are available was useful and a way of increasing the awareness. However, when it comes to marketing, pure marketing, the way we see it with other products, we haven't seen so much with ERP Next. And I would say that the organic growth will continue and should continue. We have not put in a single cent on marketing as AquaTech. And all our customers have either come in via reference or via the Frappe's channel of publicizing their partners. So I would say that the deliverables, the product itself speaks for itself. So we don't need to have any specific marketing done. But yes, there is a need to enhance the reach. There is a need, and that's where partners can come in, those who are inclined towards doing the marketing, communicating it to the people who don't know about it, spreading the awareness about the goodness of ERP Next, should go ahead and do that. But whatever has happened to us has always been organic. It has never been any other specific push to get ERP Next or AquaTech services into the market.
That's interesting. I'm like, yeah, we really strong by our stand strong by the vision that we want to grow organically, and we make it, a point that we do not promise our customers that something that's actually not there. We have always been transparent, and hopefully keeping that transparency, we have been building our products, making improvements to it. And hopefully that definitely would help us grow, and organically being, very important for us, because we want to grow sustainably and not just capture the market for the time being. And we also feel that this, in return, would be a long-term thought process, not just for us, for our ecosystem as well, and partners are a part of it. So that's one of the things that I would want to reiterate, that that's going to stay strong for us. And now we'll get back to Aquatech and talk more about your business. Like, since we have covered the basics about what you guys did, how you came across Frappe, let's get into some details about the GTM go-to-market strategies that worked for you. In the conversations that I've had with other partners and the ecosystem around, a couple of them that I came across were like channel partnership. Some of them were making custom apps like you. And some were like, they're like very business focused, so they go about with upselling as well. So apart from custom apps, as we already know, is there any other things that worked out for you from this list, or anything else that you guys experimented with and had proven to be, a good experimentation for you guys in the past?
Yeah, so we had situations whereby customers came up and asked about some solutions, and the solutions were not available in normal systems that are available in the market. So it's an opportunity, right? So we worked on that opportunity and added it to the custom apps and continued with it and kept it open source and tried to follow all the aspects of the way the development techniques are used within ERP Next and Frappe framework, and benefited from that. The other thing we did is tried to encourage companies who are like-minded to become partners, join the Frappe ecosystem. I like that analogy of that farmer who was winning the corn reward every time, as to how would he get the price every time. And he mentioned that I distribute my seeds to the neighbors. And by distributing his seeds to the neighbors, it is counterintuitive because it's increasing competition, right? But by doing this, what essentially happened to him is that all the neighbors had good corn and he had the best. So he was kind of shielded from the cross-pollination that happens of the bad corn coming into his fields. So it's a good analogy I always follow and talk to people. It helps to have partners who are like-minded, to have you also go forward. And having partners, and I think it's kind of also a responsibility we think we have to promote ERP Next within the region which is so much infiltrated by the proprietary and very expensive solutions, which this particular region is not ready to take, or is not. And there are so many people who don't go for it because of the cost. Whereas ERP Next gives all that promise to the upcoming companies to help them take their next step and grow. And I think ERP Next is helping to grow, and our responsibility is to make ERP Next grow in the market. Sorry, Anupama,
you're muted.
Okay, sorry. So yeah, I was saying that as you could feel that you are open to experimentations, and you feel that, not one thing is going to work, but obviously promoting the product that you are dealing with is one of the key and the basic of foundations of experimenting with other strategies that I spoke about. The next, the question that could possibly help the new partners who had joined in is they possibly might have some barriers in understanding of how to go about with the pricing model. So what insights would you want to give them? I know you spoke about it briefly in the beginning, but if you want to, go into, put it in a very simple way, how would you want to help the new partners go about it?
So like I mentioned that being upfront, honest to the customer or the prospect that this is an open source and a free product helps to build that trust. And it is those customers or prospects who trust you who is going to be ready to work with you, have your skills and capability utilized to implement the solution in their organization and go ahead and pay you for that. So you charge for your services, and it has been very clear that ERPnet, the product is free, the service is not. And the services is where you are making your livelihood from. And you make sure that your services are of a level whereby the customers benefit and they talk about it to others, and there is no stopping thereafter. So there are always times when you will get situations of requiring to be over delivering or requiring to be spending time or going out of scope. And it's surprising that most of our customers, don't have a scope defined, which is very clear. And implementation without scope is very unusual. But somehow we have managed to do it because customers trust us. They understand that what they are getting and what they will get afterwards. And we are, like you mentioned, if the functionality does not exist, it doesn't exist. There is no fun in faking that it is existing and then you try to go and deliver it. So I think that's the reality, that whatever is there, they will get it. And whatever is service required, if we are able to provide the service within the framework of the project, we will do it. If not, we will communicate with customers and be very frank about it. And that initial trust that you get is what you take along. So pricing is you determine your price based upon your hourly rate, identify based upon the deliveries that you are supposed to do as to how much is going to cost you and how much you want to charge the customer. And there might be some negotiations, but as long as you are attaining your revenues that you want to sustain and grow, you should go ahead and charge accordingly. But charge for the services and be very much clear about it.
Definitely transparency, like in terms of product, in terms of services, that's the essential part of implementing ERP next to any enterprise customer or any organization. That would be the tenet. And if I would have to ask you any suggestion apart from the marketing strategy or the market strategy in general or pricing, what suggestion you as a partner, since you have grown with us and stayed with us for so long, what as a experienced partner you would suggest to any partner who has just started with us, who are possibly an entry-level partner or have just completed the certification? What one suggestion that you would give them?
So have trust. that's the suggestion I have. And you probably are lucky, the new partners, because what happened in the past with the different types of models we went through and experimented it, and we stayed along with that experimentation. And I think we have that kind of repo in Frappe that if there's something to be tried out, that we are available as AquaTech to be tried upon. So we believe that without experimenting, we can't experience new ways of working. And by using the old ways of working, you are only increasing the problems that you have, what are existing in the current market, and is expanding on it. So all the first principles concept that Frappe is using, if you apply it again in this context, you will be able to agree to what Frappe approaches are. Maybe have at least there is a room for discussion as to this is working, this is not working out, and we had all those discussions with Frappe as we had gone along. But having trust in the way the Frappe organization is run and how the partnership models are existing and the services are being provided helps. Means we jumped onto the Frappe Cloud as soon as it was announced. We really liked the concept. We were looking forward to it in a way. I remember in the 2018 conference, we had 2019 conference, we had the discussions done, and we were requesting for such kind of a solution, and we were told there is something coming up, and it did come out, and we managed to make use of it. And it has relieved us from all those DevOps and server ops tasks that otherwise would be affecting your growth as a partner.
Mm.
So yeah,
Since you talk
helped us.
about Definitely. And since you spoke about Frappe Cloud, yeah, recently we switched our entire business model to Frappe Cloud. As ERP Next is free, we are like providing dedicated uh, uh, support for serving your websites on Frappe Cloud. That's what we charge for. That's our business model for going forward. Apart from like DevOps and time being saved into while hosting your servers on Frappe Cloud, what are the other additional benefits you feel that a partner could have if they would have their clients uh, have their websites hosted on Frappe Cloud as compared to other players in the market? For example, there's Amazon or any other DigitalOcean or any other player in the market. What do you think that uh, would help your customers derive the most out of it from Frappe Cloud other than going to any other player in the market?
So one thing is for sure that Frappe Cloud is run and managed very well to the point where you don't need to worry about those aspects. So having a stable system on which you operate in business is critical for a customer, and that was the first thing that they get. Secondly, you have the relevant certifications and the relevant processes in place to ensure that the security is taken care of, the regular maintenance. And security is multiple, the data security, the server security itself. And there are so many layers in Frappe stack, that is ERP Next stack, which has so much to be taken care of. And I believe that it is best to hand it over to the professionals and let that job get done. And we are not hosting anything locally unless we are forced to. That is the way we are doing. Everything is on Frappe Cloud for our customers, and customers have benefited, and they are not worried about the site is hosted where, what is the security about it. They know that it's, as far as the hosting is concerned, it is with the hands of the OEM, and it is done in the best optimized manner that is supposed to be done, and it is pretty cost effective as well.
Definitely, that's why we shifted our entire business model and our entire trust on Frappe Cloud. And yeah, now I think we are coming near to the conclusion. If anyone wants have any questions, they could drop their questions in the question and answer section that would be somewhere down below on your screen. Once we are closing by, we'll revisit that. But before that, Mitesh, would you want to like talk about any your favorite top implementations that you have done in the past? That's your favorite, and why you really feel that way about it?
So we have done an implementation of one of the largest sizes, probably is the largest server in Frappe Cloud as well, for a customer who is across multiple countries and who is doing tens of thousands of daily invoices a day. And every time we have seen the need of an expansion, the support that we are requiring from the team, it has helped us, and it's something that wasn't known before by us, that it is possible, but we knew that it will be possible as long as the rest of the structures are in place, and that's what was. So that implementation went ahead and across multiple time zones, across a large set of user base, thousands of users and tens of thousands of invoices daily. We have managed to make it work on Frappe Cloud, and we are continuing with it, and it is one of the largest implementation that we have there. So yes, it is worked out for us.
That's interesting. And like, do you have anything that's coming up since you guys keep building products that is helpful for the customers that you are catering to, but at the same time is also generalized enough to that could be used in the region that you're operating in? Are we expecting something new that's coming the way?
So just hold on, let me just get.
Okay, not a problem.
Yeah. So essentially the things that we do, we have it on our open source repository, so it will be visible. We don't have any specific roadmap as such, and we have the customers' requirements, which takes the highest priority, and the generalized need that it is. So warehouse management now is becoming one of the important point. Also, field sales management is something that we want to work on. We're still figuring out how best it can be done. But yeah, these are the two things that is in our minds, and I'm looking forward to figure out what is the other warehouse management features that are coming up in version 15, because I do know that some items have already been taken care of and others are pending.
Got it. So yeah, I think we have covered most of the base that to begin with, that would be a good primer for for understanding Frappe partnerships as a whole and the ecosystem at the base for the attendees. I assume most of them are new partners, and obviously some of them would have been with us and are here to understand how AquaTech did what basically they did best that got them here. So if we could move around to the question and answer section once, and let's see what we have here. So Sunil, he had asked that in which module the real estate solution is built upon?
Yeah. So Sunil, the real estate module is a custom application. It's on our repository of Aakvatech and GitHub. It's called property management. Prop MS is the link. But it is actually on top of ERP next. In fact, on top of our Tanzanian specific customization, and then it's what it comes in. So it's a custom application.
I think his next question is for us. Is there any price lock for Frappe Cloud? So the pricing is listed on our website, and if you're asking is price on hosting tend to increase anytime soon, for now we do not have any plans to change the pricing for Frappe Cloud. So you could be assured that we're not going to tinker around with pricing for the time being. But if you want, you could go to our website for Frappe Cloud and understand the pricing based on the memory and server system that would be used over there. So that would be more helpful in understanding that. Okay. More.
I think from Hardinsoft, we have a very interesting question that he's asking that I know for a fact that you've been very supportive of the new partners and you have worked in a very professional manner. So have it personally successfully benefited you for managing this kind of a relationship on a long-term basis? Nice question, actually.
Yeah. So I understand where it is coming from, and we had good conversations with them in the past. The having been benefiting successfully, at the end of the day, what you take back is the happiness. So yes, it has helped. It has helped us personally, benefited us by becoming a bit more happier. And the other thing is that long term is immediately visible. When you have somebody whom you are together, that means you're not left behind. In case you need some helping hand, there are helping hand around who will help you out as well, the way you helped out, right? Paying it forward. So that is the way I see that has helped me. So I can't answer that question anyway otherwise.
Great. Ankita, is there anything else that you would want to ask or talk about?
I would actually want to know that since you've been associated with Frappe for the last 4 years, so what do you think that has majorly benefited you out of the partnership? Because you have been with Frappe and associated like longer than I have been in Frappe. So it's a long journey that you have embarked upon. So it would be really interesting to know this.
So I think a lot of management techniques that you are using has enlightened us, has helped us to know that this is the way that things can happen, this can be done. It has also inspired us to have things open source the way you have kept it open source. It has also benefited us in terms of aligning ourselves to what you do, so it becomes more friction free when we are dealing with each other. And being honest and open back to you also has helped us to continue our business in a manner we want to, but at least align with how it is expected with Frappe. So I would say that alignment is the biggest takeout there between the two organizations. And that's what I would also encourage everybody else to do. Be open, be aligned, and I think it is then just a smooth ride.
That's
Okay.
great. Thanks.
Okay, so I think we had a very nice and interesting conversation. And yeah, I think we have come towards the end of it. It's already around 45 minutes, and the next session for office hours is about to start. But before going, closing the session, I would want to launch a couple of polls to get some insights from the audience here into understanding, like, is this webinar helpful, and would they want to, get more from these series, and how often do you want to get some series? Yeah, that's about it. I'd be launching the polls, and apart from that, if there is someone new who wants to go about and explore Frappe ecosystem and the partnerships plan, Ankita, would you want to give some insights about that to them?
Yeah, so basically our model on partnership is built on that we provide the product and basically the partners work on the services. So we handhold with our partners and try to build an ecosystem with our customers and partners to firstly spread the open source product and to also give a knowledge that there is a product which also exists here. So if you want to join this journey, you can always reach out to me. Maybe if I dive into much more details, it might be a bit boring. But basically, we work with partners and try to reach to the customer. So that's how our entire model of working with partners work. Yeah.
Okay. So just like to reiterate on our partnerships ecosystem, I'd want to mention that products, Frappe Framework, ERP Next, and the other products from our Frappeverse is what we offer. And the services part is entirely driven by our partner ecosystem. And like other players in the market who are our competitors like Udo or like, we do not, take part in services part of it. It's entirely driven by our partnerships ecosystem. So that's where we feel that is a very huge scope for partners to grow with us, since we have given them the liberty to go about with it. And yeah, definitely explore. And I hope we'll be coming back soon with new partners, not probably new faces over here, not the new partners new faces, but the older partners who have been with us in the coming months. And we try to get at least one conversation every month so that the ecosystem gets insights on what and how they could maximize on with in this partnership journey with us. And if you have any other questions, you could definitely reach out anyone from the partnerships team through social media or through the official channel of communication to the email. You could also connect with me if you would want any assistance. If you are a partner and if you want to discuss anything marketing, you could definitely connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter, anywhere. I'd definitely be more than happy to connect with you guys. So yeah, I think we have come to the end, and hopefully this was an interesting and insightful conversation for the attendees who are here. And yeah, that's about it. We'll close the session now because the next session for office hours is about to start. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Mitesh, so much for joining in, and Ankita for being here and driving the webinar along with me.
Thank you so much,
Thank you. It was a
Anupama,
pleasure.
taking the initiative to have this webinar. Thank you.